You are with the news here. I'm Sahar. In the top focus, the question being asked, will Aadhaar numbers be linked to voters' ID cards soon? As per reports here, the Election Commission of India is planning to pitch the linking of voter IDs with Aadhaar card, and this is to ensure greater accuracy on electoral rolls. And this move also aims to weed out duplication, misrepresentation of electoral rolls. The Election Commission here, which is expected to make this proposed amendment to the Law Ministry soon enough. Let's get in a word here from our colleague in our sister concern, the Economic Times. We have Anubhuti Vishnoi with us on the phone line. Anubhuti, help us understand on how soon would this proposal be made by the Election Commission, and to what extent will it really curb duplication concerns here?
Well, the Election Commission is of a very clear and firm view on this. It feels that only if the Aadhaar number is linked to a voter ID will they be effectively able to weed out all duplicates from the electoral roll. So far, the position has been that it should be voluntary, but it is now strongly felt that that would probably be a halfway measure. Only when the entire electoral roll is seeded against the Aadhaar number do they feel that you can effectively weed out all duplicates. They hope they are already at it, and they are going to propose an amendment to the Representation of People Act so that it is made compulsory for every voter card holder to link their voter card number with the Aadhaar number.
All right, Anubhuti, help us understand any criticism to this here. This is that has come in with the intention of the Election Commission to make this proposal to the Law Ministry. Of course, there were issues that were raised as far as security concerns here in Aadhaar. Several faults that already lie in our Aadhaar card which need to be corrected as well. Even before we've done that, we could perhaps face a situation wherein which this becomes compulsory now on linking your Aadhaar to your voter ID.
Well, see, there are two aspects to this. Now, the Election Commission decision follows the September verdict of the Supreme Court, which says it very clearly that any kind of Aadhaar linkage will have to be legally backed. So to make it compulsory, the Election Commission of India has no option but to amend the Representation of People Act. As far as criticism is concerned, remember electoral rolls is already quite a politically volatile issue. Opposition parties have taken it up. The Congress particularly went to court over this particular issue. And the EC firmly believes that the only way to actually silence all this criticism and to address it effectively is to ensure a clean electoral roll, which is only possible if you seed it with the Aadhaar number.
All right, stay on with us. Let's get in a word here from Supreme Court lawyer Kailash Vasudev with us over the phone line. Mr. Vasudev, in your view, how long could this process really take to go through due permissions here to make this compulsory?
There are three issues on this. The Supreme Court judgment says Aadhaar is not to be linked with other facilities. It's for a specific purpose. Second, when the Election Commission draws up the electoral rolls, it's on a physical counting and physical verification of everybody. Number three, so far as the procedure is concerned, there is no prescription in any law that the Election Commission has the power to link the electoral rolls with the Aadhaar system. So what the Election Commission will be doing, contrary to the Supreme Court judgment, contrary to the Representation of People Act, contrary to the Aadhaar Act. It does not have the powers, and it should choose not to do so because the consequence of it will be acting in the breach of the Supreme Court judgment. It cannot do it, and it should not do it. You have a manual remedy.
So what's the purpose here of the Election Commission? Absolutely, Mr. Vasudev. You're explaining this with respect to the landmark judgment that was made by the Supreme Court in instructing what the government is allowed to ask the citizens to link Aadhaar to, at the most perhaps the PAN card. But here, in this case, why do you feel that the Election Commission is looking at making this proposal to the Law Commission, knowing clearly well that this would go against the Supreme Court?
The Election Commission is choosing to do this because it is failing to maintain a correct electoral roll system. When you do the physical remunerations or the physical enumerations of electoral rolls, you do so on the basis of actual information gathered. Today, when political parties shout that the electoral rolls are manipulated, they do so because people are included in electoral rolls on the basis of hearsay. You are a family of 5. 3 people are staying there, 2 people are working in other states. So those 2 names are given by these 3 and the enumerator takes down their names. This is where the problem is. Then those 2 gentlemen who are staying in the other state also apply for enumeration there. Here is where the Election Commission must be very, very particular and correct in an enumeration of electoral rolls which are statutory under the Representation of People Act. If they fail to do their duty, then they cannot take escape under the Aadhaar system. It is incorrect.
All right. Do you see this happening nationwide till the next Lok Sabha elections 2019? Barely 3 to 5 months away then.
Even if it is 3 to 5 months away, they cannot do it. That's the short answer to it. If you want to redo the electoral rolls, there's a procedure prescribed under the Act and the rules.
Mr. Kailash, Vasudev, appreciate you speaking with us here. Of course, looking at the impossibility of this happening, not just in a very short window of time to meet with the 2019 Lok Sabha, for each of us be linking our Aadhaar to our voter IDs, but more importantly, this would need to go through the rigors of court once again, not just by the Law Commission of the government. It is for the Supreme Court now to decide on this.